What the heck? Mrs. Otto, what's the matter? That's a... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What did you say? Time bomb? Sorry, but what is a time bomb exactly? Eh? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruto. I won't take that as a compliment. Ha! You don't know nothing, do you, Otto? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? Alrighty. Who could the question marks be? I bet it's Shums. It always is. Alright guys, welcome back. It's Light here. And it's time for us to continue forward. Last time we paid Shums 5 shillings to take a look at this secret exhibit again. Or like properly. Because I'll call it the body was returned, and then we looked at the figure on the left and we realized it was Drebber. So Drebber was involved in the professor case somehow. Wonder how. Let's continue, shall we? Indeed it is. Yep, I knew it. Mr. Sholmes! This man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe? Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? And why does the convict behind him have no head? Head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise. So then the case isn't yet solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved, were my words, I believe. Yeah. But I must locate the missing head tout de suite, Madame would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. Very hungry, Iris. Still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations. Ugh. You know, though, something about this room is strange. Strange? What do you mean? Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not? They are, Mrs. Otto. Do go on. And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable. But this one... This surely couldn't ever really have happened, could it? Ooh, I think it's time I educated you a little. About the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago. Oh, what could he have to say? I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their throats ripped from their bodies. Ouch, what the heck? Oh gosh, an enormous hound? How awful. After taking the life of his 5th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. Closed court? So you mean that the professor's identity... As you surmised, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty, and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. Huh? Oh. The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. What? Came back to life? He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlight graveyard. Oh. The exhibit here depicts that very scene, as described by the sole witness to those chilling events. There was a witness? But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than a young man in the white overcoat. Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen? Yep. Called it. Well, kinda called it. I mean, it's kinda obvious. This is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber. 10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. Sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old. It's so horrifying. Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight. Yes, as shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame Tuspel's. I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. But what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place. In a lonely graveyard in the middle of the night. Oh, that's true. Why was he here? And with a shovel or a spade or whatever you want to call it. Yes, what was he up to? Following the execution, Professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Oh yeah, it would have been new at that time. Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale. But why did people stop believing it? Why? Simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact. I mean, also, I'm sure, it would have faded off of the rumor mill. People probably just, stopped paying attention to it after a while. What do you mean by no resurrection? Police investigated the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution. No. But that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and the newspapers. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking, then, that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course, the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible. But Drebber's hair is unusually white, and if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie. I wonder. He clearly saw something. This must be the killer, the fiend known as the Professor. Yes, I think so. According to what Madame Tuspel said, he killed 5 victims, all of noble or royal blood. The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. I know, it looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. What does that have to do with it moving? Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. I mean, couldn't it still move without its head? So this is the condemned man? Yes, the so-called professor. Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine. But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost. Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Mrs. Otto? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, see? Perhaps Mr. Sholmes absent-mindedly forgot to reattach it. That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? But it's true. Or perhaps the thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum. That would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Maybe they, wanted a symbol of their work, like my first successful attempt at kidnapping and ransom. And they hung it up on their wall. Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. Oh, what could it be? That's it! It's confirmed! It's confirmed! It was there. It was there. Yep, it was used for the trick. Now we have our evidence. Oh yeah. It looks like a big piece of broken glass, and quite a big piece too. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say. Where could such a thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder? I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength. But why? Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as in a big building, for example. Ah. Well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass was broken, too. You don't mean... Yep. Exactly, the Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition. But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this waxwork's jacket? It makes you think, doesn't it? Alrighty. Earlier in court we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick. And now we discovered this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence? Nope. Definitely related. Okay. Oh. Are we done? Ah! Gina! Oh, Gina. Oh, what the bleeding Nora, Otto? What have you gone and done? Gina, what are you doing here? No, not the gun again. I asked Iris and she said this is where you'd be, so... So? Gina, not so loud in the museum. Madame Tussbells will have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern. I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... So? Alright, Gina, we understand, but please, put down the gun. Oh, man. Oh, Gina. Sorry, I got scared. You should try being the one on the other end of the barrel. So, what brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What do you think? We found it! We found that dodgy Co's workshop. What? You found Drebber's workshop? Yep. Toby's nose took me straight there. Boss and the others are heading over there now in a drag, so come on. Here's the address. I got the bus ready out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. Alright then, see you there. Aww. What are you moping about? I was just gonna say I love Gina's growth and then it cuts to this guy. You're ruining the vibe. Oh, such a child. You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? What a moping waxwork. I know my place. The exhibit, over there. Oh dear. Someone is feeling sorry for himself. Oh man. Let's go, Mr. Sholmes. You're coming. Your words hurting me, I must say. But if I were to shirk my duties here, Madame would have me pay monetary recompense. Iris's dinner plate would be empty once more. Forget that. I'll pay for everything. Oh, there we go. Wow. He picked himself up real quick there. And there's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carriage at once. He took off like the Flash. No offer to share the cost for Mr. Sholmes, then. I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruto. Aw, Susato, you're the best. Thank you, Mrs. Zato. Right, let's go. Oh, man. Oh, what a child. What a child. Oh! Dang, this is quite the place we have here. That looks like... Oh! It's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Indeed, it would appear so. Though only a prototype, naturally. Ah, so you got here then. Gina, well done for finding this place. And in such a little time. You've really worked miracles. It's Toby here, who's the miracle worker. Oh, he's so adorable! What's with his face? Why? Ah, I thought you lot would show up before long. Hello, Inspector. That's one-knitted bro. He looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer? Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here. Oh, what a shame. Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us a chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to say, go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I? No, don't go. We need you. Don't leave us alone with Von Zeeks. We can't do it without you. Thank you. Anyway, if you're helping to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. Lord Van Zeeks and the forensic investigation team are on their way here as we speak. Them again. Imagine you've got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types. Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down while we have the chance. And you, Sholmes. Pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Very droll, Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right then, let's see what we can find in here. Oh man. Alright. Ooh. Start with this. It's a quiver of arrows, isn't it? This is... It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside. Oh, do you suppose... Crossbolts, these. And just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. In other words... Yep. More evidence to support your theory. All goes to show that Drebber was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam. Yay! Awesome. Okay, what else we got here? Oh hey, a trophy. Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? An impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. Ryunosuke, what? I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains would soon go away. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Ah. Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine. Thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Drebber than conjuring tricks. Couldn't agree more, my dear madam. How about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired soldiers, of course. He's not going to let that go, is he? Of course not. It's curious though, isn't it? You'd expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. I don't know if it has anything to do with English gentlemen or just this guy in general. He seems like a quack and a half. I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. That machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it from the Crown and the government. They don't care. They couldn't care less. No, man. Oh, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow. No loose change dropped on the floor, nothing. Not even a bone for Toby, eh, my dear fella? Why would there be a bone? British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think it's just these two, Mrs. Otto. I was gonna say, I don't think it's British people so much as Gina and Sholmes. Alright, what else is there? Everything here, I think. Alright, then to the door we go. This door doesn't want to open. Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it. There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands off till he gets here. With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission. And no one's giving it to you. He's talking again. Yeah, Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that. I love his facial expression. Well, there's no sign of anybody on the other side. No, Drebber must have fled at the first sign of danger. Or not. What the heck? Oh. Something wrong, Mrs. Otto? You didn't hear that, Ryunosuke? Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it and all. What do you reckon, Toby? Oh, so cute. Right, mind the Grace. Whoever's in there, open up. Scotland Yard. I think that's gonna make it worse, not better. Clearly. What the heck? Oh my, someone is in there. Ah, this rotten bleeding lock. My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Yep, should have just let him do it from the start. Wow, he wasted no time. What do you say? Just get us through that blasted door. There, you may enter at will. You've confused minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is their engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yes! If he's still there. What the? What? Why is everything all upside down? What's happened in here? Why is everything upside down? Yeah, why is it all topsy-turvy? Rats! There ain't no one in here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises. Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away. What, up through the windows? But there's only one door into this room. No windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. Oh yeah, true. What's that up there? Oh yeah, isn't there footprints up there? Are they footprints on the ceiling? Blow me! Whatever here then. Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry. Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what? That Professor Hairbrain's barmy machine, is it? Blimey! If we'd had these, there'd have been no need to muck about, trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There's something of great interest here, too. Oh, rope. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Did he climb up with it or something? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Naruhodo. Oh no! I'm sorry, Professor! Please forgive me, give me another chance! We've disappointed our professor. You must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive too. Yes, we must, we must redeem ourselves. Alright. It's a very large safe. I don't suppose even Mr. Sholmes could open that lock. Although if you were a thief, you could just steal the entire thing, I suppose. It's bolted to the floor to prevent exactly that sort of underhand trick, Miss Naruhodo. Well then, you could just steal the floor as well, I suppose. Why does he have a criminal mind all of a sudden? Too much time with Gina, I think. I'm sorry, but you really aren't making any sense at all. Anyway, I think we can agree that whatever is inside must be very important. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Alright. Almost every piece of furniture is upside down. Even Mr. Sholmes' suite isn't ever in this much of a mess. You're in no position to comment on mess, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh yeah, his desk. But I suppose it's not quite the same thing, is it? I mean, it's not messy in here, per se. It's that everything is literally upside down. But why? Yeah, why the heck is everything upside down? Doesn't make any sense. What else we got? What else we got? That's a really lovely model. It looks just like a real flying balloon. I think it's probably staying aloft on the same principle as a full-size balloons using gas. The green flying balloon. It does have the hallmarks of that amazing deception at the Great Exhibition, doesn't it? Could it be that the whole thing was planned here in this very workshop? Is that why everything's upside down? Hide plans? Or I don't know. Maybe not. No denying it, is there? They're footprints. Yes, it would appear so. And I simply can't imagine how they came to be there. Isn't there a Susato shoot up or something? Like a Susato takedown, I mean. That'd be cute. And no wonder woman, Miss Naruto. That would make her almost superhuman, I suppose. Oh, Rinosuke. Come on, Rinosuke. You don't take the easy way out of things. You work hard for what you need. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruto. Yes, in point of fact. Something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. It looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in a large... Ah! What the heck? Mrs. Otto, what's the matter? That's a... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What? Did you say? Time bomb? Sorry, but... What is a time bomb exactly? Eh? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruto. I won't take that as a compliment. Ha! You don't know nothing, do ya, Otto? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruto. Come on, it's not that bad. This particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. Oh! Oh, well, thank goodness. But then, what is it? See, so that's it. Goodness, Mr. Sholmes. Have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair, for I am fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. No! We're trying, I swear we're trying. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Mrs. Otto. Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. What told you? The music? Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself. Oh, but how could you... And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is, without question, completely genuine. Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything. Be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Perfect. Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway. Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done. You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mrs. Otto. Oh yay, she's gonna be involved for the first time. Like, the theatric side of it. Oh yes, I'd be delighted. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Here we go again. Game is afoot indeed. Flipped furniture. She's so excited. So cute. Plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling, or falling straight down onto the floor. Every item in the room is on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that... Indeed, the key here. Oh, that's so cool! Is gravity. I know that's not true, but like, it's so cool regardless. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. That is awesome. Just for the snap and everything falls. So cool. But the gravity in this room is reversed, and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness! The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. But I understand your skepticism, Mrs. Otto. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. Oh boy. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to the one featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact. But then why does it have a clock on it? Most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically, and the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. See, we need to look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I mean, it's an amazing theory, even if it's not true. Oh man. I have witnessed precisely the scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Oh, of course. I would expect no less. Oh man. Alright. Missing engineer. Let's see. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Didn't you say it's too high for him to climb? Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room. Accepting the skylight, that is. Ah. That's so cool. By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently? Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. The man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, okay, that's what he meant with the rope. Earlier. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Nope. By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. Personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Just for fun? Really? Just for fun? Oh, jeez. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Every time without fail, his deductions are met with silence. It's so funny. Oh, she enjoyed it. He's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there is just one thing that troubles me. I expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean. I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. Then why did you theorize that that he reversed gravity? But your whole deduction hinges on it, exactly! Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. However improbable it may seem. A marvelous lie, wouldn't you agree? One of my more endearing pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Mrs. Otto lent me once.
Objection!
And there she is. I love her objection. Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, the spell's broken at last. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall. But if Mr. Trevor had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall? Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find through ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. Not completely. That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, Great Detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly, before Enoch Trevor gets too far away. Oh boy. If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Man, I'd pay to see that if it was a real thing. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Alright, time to give him the helping hand again. Alright. Okay. Obviously not. Nope. I mean, even though it's not gravity, I still love this. The cinematics of it. And flipping everything around. Yep. I think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation. The man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once. Oh, that's unusually merciless of you, Mrs. Otto. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he? While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Alrighty. Safe? Ah, look, Mrs. Otto. When everything seems to be upside down in here, this safe is conspicuously the right way up, have you noticed? Yes, that's true. But look more closely at the safe's feet. Ah, a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. Think before you speak. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there. I certainly didn't say that. I mean, it's wrong, I guess. Obviously, not I guess, but...
Take that!
I'm doing it anyway. Just to see what happens. Unlike every other piece of furniture in the room, this safe is not upside down. So, a reversal in gravity can't be the reason for the state of this room. Naruhodo, I implore you to observe more closely. As you can see, the safe's feet is firmly bolted to the floor, saving it from any effects of gravity. Oh, so it is. There is one thing we can learn from your misguided conclusion. Good deduction is no mean feat. Uh-huh. So funny. Can we at least make jokes at my expense funny? Oh, that was good. Alright. Fine, I'll be serious. If the reversal of gravity is scientifically impossible, perhaps you can prove it didn't occur? Well, to prove a hypothesis is wrong. Easiest way is just to find an obvious exception. Let's have another good look around. Alright. Something that's clearly still right side up. Let's see. Oh! Oh. Whoops, I didn't notice that. I'm blind. My bad. Alright. The upright base clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. On my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. What? Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? Why? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes. Trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down, this unassuming, slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all! Yeah, obviously. Oh, this child. My deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes. Mrs. Otto, please. Don't console the child. But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. Wow. He picked himself up again real quick. Now that we know this contravent is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally, there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. A reason why things... Huh? Why is there a combination written underneath a chair? Look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair. Oh yes, safe 432582. Safe? As in safe and secure? No. As in secure lockable box, I think. Admittedly more likely. Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes. So you mean this number would let us open it? I wonder why it's written here, though. Right.
Take that!
Why would you write the combination underneath the furniture? Did you not have paper on hand? Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket and loaded the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it, for people are forgetful souls at heart, and always make a written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself would be more sensible, I think. And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it, for people are forgetful souls at heart, always forget where they've noted things down. And if you always note things in the same place, Sasato's like, that's a you guys problem. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped a ticket into, so I had to turn my room upside. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. Why did you cut him off? So rude. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Trevor overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. But he wrote it on a piece of furniture. How could you forget which furniture you wrote it on? I guess as a scientist and engineer, he has a lot of it on his mind. But like, that's different from like writing it in like a notebook or like a journal or something. Like, couldn't you remember? Like, say you wrote underneath the sofa. Can't you remember? I wrote underneath my sofa. I don't know. Now, let us oh my gosh. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? Question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Nope. Well, if a change in direction of the gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there? Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. Oh, says Otto. It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place. I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. No. Oh boy. Oh, there's footprints on the balloon. Is it this, perhaps? This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon. Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up. Green gas balloon. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me? If you can see, there are footprints on this balloon too, look. Oh yes, surely that's a clue, isn't it? But what it tells us, I'm not sure. That it? Is that what I want? Maybe?
Take that!
Nope. I love how it bounces off like that. Being able to fly freely in the sky, that has been mankind's dream for centuries. And of course, the balloon is the invention that's made that dream come true. Mr. Drebber, clearly a man of dreams, used the balloon to ascend to the ceiling and plant his feet on the roof. Take no pleasure in delivering bad news. The undeniable truth is, clearly too small. What? I knew you were going to say that. My dear fellow, then you are twice the fool. If people could fly in such small balloons, why would anybody ever manufacture larger ones? I despair of your lack of common sense at times, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh, that really hurts. Coming from you. Ouch. Oh, man. I enjoy getting the penalties, it's fun. Oh man, those footprints up there on the ceiling really are a puzzle. And as they're so close to the skylight, it really is very hard to believe the two are unrelated. Perhaps we need to approach this from a different angle. Different angle, huh? What else is there? Oh! What the? Why is there a shoe up here? It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there, look! Oh yes, and there are more footprints on this little balloon, too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think? So, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though? Oh dear. That's beyond me, I'm afraid. Okay.
Take that!
There we go. That makes sense. We were just a teeny bit off. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. But for what purpose? Yeah, why? Green balloon? That seems somewhat familiar, Data. Ah! There's a piece of green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon that Master Gotts claims that he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception. You mean to say, if we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Ah. Most probably, Trevor intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside. I recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Nope. It is weird that the rope is just lying around. Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope. Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground. Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well. True, perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? Oh, right. Crossbow.
Take that!
You can shoot it down. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? That was found at the scene, in fact, and in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Trevor. The man had only brought it away with him that day. He could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. Yeah, why didn't he take it with him? He basically, what's the word? Confirmed himself as a suspect by leaving it behind. He confirmed his presence there at the scene. But like, if his shoe is here, does that mean Sholmes is saying he's running around with only one shoe? That's funny. That'd be so uncomfortable too. So, shall we? Curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. I think you're talking about yourself, Sholmes. What is it that Enoch Trevor has hidden inside that balloon? Dang. That was loud. Well, I guess you're shooting an arrow, so it's bound to be loud. What the? A waxwork? That's from the museum! It's the head of the waxwork that was stolen! Oh my gosh, the one put up for ransom. It is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside, that means. But why is it here? Just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model. Does that mean... Oh goodness! I see you've joined the dots, Mrs. Otto. Excellent. Ah, of course. A headless waxwork model. Case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you'd largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspel's would not have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes. But why is it here? Yeah, why? This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspel's, returning it, sans tête, earlier today, was none other than Enoch Trevor. This is incredible. Professor Harebrain's case, the waxwork abduction are... They're inextricably linked by Enoch Trevor's workshop. Right. I wonder why he has the head, like, concealed like that. Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. Speak with him? Architect? You mean Mr. Trevor? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of those skylights, obviously the man must still be here in the room. What? And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during the seduction, he's still here? Well, yeah, that makes sense, actually. Enoch Trevor is right here, somewhere in this room. So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Mr. Trevor's hiding place must be the Oh, the safe, obviously. That's why he was looking for the code for it. Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here. Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. Pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process, from which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. Summary, Mr. Enoch Trevor. Aww. They're such a good team. Is at this very moment inside the safe. I think that every time. They work so well together. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Finally. They're so long, but I love them, these great deductions of his. It's like playing a murder mystery. Elementary. We did it! Woohoo! Once again. So, Mr. Naruhodo. I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? Oh, okay. I'll have to end the game next time. Oh, geez. I am so excited. Alright. Alright, guys, that's gonna be it for this one. It's been quite the heck of a journey, and we're still not done the investigation part. It's crazy. Oh, man. I want to know why the heck he was hiding the head, and more about this Mr. Drebber fellow. But we're gonna have to figure that all out next time. Alright, guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one, where we finally, hopefully, get to court again. Alright, guys, see you later.